I'm Chris Valley. I'm the energy critic for the Green Party of Alberta, and I'm here today to talk to you about the Drawdown. Drawdown is an amazing set of solutions. It was developed by over 200 scientists, engineers, and experts around the world. What is fundamentally different from the Drawdown as opposed to other frameworks or other sets of solutions is the fact that the Drawdown has been peer-reviewed, has been tested, and has been examined for 20 different countries around the world. And out of that, they were able to derive the 100 of the best solutions that are currently available and can be scaled to not just mitigate climate change, but to actually reverse it. And that there lies the name, drawing down. So you're actually drawing down CO2 from the atmosphere, not just mitigating. But what else is different about the drawdown is it's fundamentally about shifting the narrative from scaring people about climate change, from talking about the problems that we face, and shifting the focus upon the solutions. And one of the things that the drawdown does is it shows how much each one of these solutions will cost to implement, how much we will save by implementing those solutions, and how much we will either prevent CO2 from going in the atmosphere or how much we'll actually draw down out of the atmosphere. One of the other things that's fundamentally important is it talks about the synergy between the different solutions. And what that means is that each one of the solutions that's proposed works with a synergy of other solutions and actually makes each one of the solutions work better. So in my case, when I talk about renewable energy, when you combine a suite of renewable energy systems with energy storage, smart grid, and as well as electrification of transportation, all of those things actually work together to make each one of them a little bit better. Now, the same thing goes with agriculture, changing the way that we think about soil and treating the soil as like a living thing that actually sequesters carbon. And as well as when we think about nature and how restoring nature also helps with other systems, it helps with agriculture, it helps stabilize the climate. But there's also some very, very other important solutions like education of women and girls, which in turn works better with localized renewable energy, because when women and girls around the world tend to work longer hours preparing meals, looking after children, and when power and energy is provided, after hours, it gives them access to internet and gives them access to education, which then leads to better quality of life, but also leads to them finding ways of living which reduce their overall carbon input and actually allow them to work better with the environment. So that brings me to one of the other fundamental features of the drawdown, is that there's no silver bullets, that all solutions, all methodologies, everything that humanity has to bring to the table must be implemented. And it must be implemented now, and actually more quickly in the beginning. All the low-hanging fruit must be implemented, and we must accelerate what we're doing now, so that way we perhaps have more breathing room in the future. And so that along with the other principles, which basically when you combine the different principles that are out there, it actually provides you with the quickest path to stabilize the climate, but also it has the effect of stabilizing civilization, creating more equity, and creating jobs, and all the jobs in the future. And as well, there is room in the drawdown for the up and coming technologies and all of the things that are sitting in the wings, almost ready to be implemented, which come to support the other solutions that are offered. And I do believe that this fundamental message of speaking about climate change in terms of it's a problem, it's a problem, it's a problem, as opposed to speaking to people and telling them we have the solutions, we have the methodologies, we have the knowledge, we have the know-how. And that know-how will be translated into the jobs and opportunities of the future. And one of the things that Albertans are really, really good at is coming up with new opportunities, new innovations, new ways of using these things, using our ingenuity. In Alberta, we have some of the best solar resource in the world. We have great knowledge in terms of oil and gas, in terms of expanding our geothermal. That same technology can be applied to geothermal technology. We also have great wind resource. We have some of the best agricultural land in the world. We also have a great forestry sector, and we can be a resource for both energy and for innovation in many different levels. And that's where us as the Green Party of Alberta, if we're coming to the door with a set of solutions and a bright picture of the future, then we will capture people's imagination and we will inspire them. And instead of the fear-mongering, the politics, the blaming, all of the usual rhetoric, which people are tired of hearing about, they will hear about a party that has a direction, that has got a set of solutions. It's got a world of possibilities that will appeal to them, that they see that they have a place where they can have meaningful employment, they can maintain the future. We don't have to sacrifice the future in order to have what we need right now. We can do both. We can have a better livability, a better opportunities, and as well as we can maintain this world for future generations. This narrative that you can only have one or the other is quite literally a form of gaslighting. And I think people are tired of it. They want a real solution. They want something that is going to appeal to them, but also satisfy that nagging feeling that they're having of what is the future going to be like for my children. And us as the Green Party of Alberta, if we come to the door with that message, then we will win hands down, because we'll be the only ones talking in this way. So I urge you to look further into the drawdown solution. Take part. There's a fantastic chapter of the drawdown solution right here in Edmonton you can be a part of, and we can make a local drawdown that basically quite literally could be a model for other drawdown chapters that are forming all over the world. And one of the things too I wanted to address is that in the last meeting they talked about how there was an Indigenous consultation. Literally one of the solutions in the drawdown is Indigenous consultation. And that's part of the local drawdowns chapter's set of solutions. So, I urge you again, look into the drawdown. Look into what it has to offer. And again, if we have that positive message at the door, as opposed to just, talking negative about the other parties and, negative about everything, negative about climate change, if instead we're seen as the people that have a plan for the future, then we will be the party of the future. So, thank Thank you, and again, I urge you to look into it and do more research as well.